Such a small vial that could save hundreds of thousands of lives. Countries around the world are racing to perfect their own coronavirus vaccines. Russia's Sputnik V was the first to be approved for production, and the West was quick to criticize.
The speed of its development is being questioned.
Proof of its effectiveness has not been presented.
A vaccine that has not been tried, a vaccine that has not been tested outside of Russia.
America's top researchers say Russia's cutting corners to develop its coronavirus vaccine.
U.S. regulators are insistent that there'll be no corners cut when it comes to testing. And for many, TJ, that is a key difference between what America is doing and what the Russians have just announced.
It's too early to tell if there's any merit to these fears, but phase 3 testing does involve 40,000 volunteers, and those who have already taken part have yet to declare any serious side effects. At the same time, the World Health Organization seems optimistic about Russia's vaccine.
The World Health Organization is very appreciative to Russia for the development of the COVID-19 vaccine, particularly Sputnik V. And I would like to thank the Russian Federation for great steps to develop a safe and effective vaccine. There is no reason that I see to be skeptical.
In the West, Big Pharma is rushing to get emergency approval from regulators before the end of critical phase 3 testing. Companies like Moderna and Pfizer have even published their clinical protocols after public concerns that their vaccines weren't exactly safe. Then AstraZeneca did the same after 2 participants had spinal inflammation, and testing had to come to a halt. These companies aren't trying to hide the multi-billion-dollar contracts behind their thirst for faster-than-life approval, but it is surprising there hasn't been more negative media reaction to that, especially in comparison to the onslaught that Russia received over Sputnik V.
It's always been politicized in various different ways, and we need to get the politics out of medicine. Russian pharmaceutical companies legally cannot donate money to American elections, while American pharmaceutical companies donate millions to American elections. So of course things are going to be done to favor American pharmaceutical companies. Those people buy elections in America. The only way to get politics out of medicine is to get government out of medicine. If an American patient wants to buy a vaccine from an American company, that should be between the company and the person. If they want to buy a vaccine from an Indian company or a Russian company or a Canadian company, that should be between them and that company. The FDA and the federal government should have no involvement at all, because when they get involved, you see this kind of cronyist nonsense.
The effectiveness of any vaccine, American, European, Russian, no doubt needs to stand the test of time. But when politics and profits get involved, it's not always easy to remember who needs to benefit from this serum in the first place.